Hello again, everyone. Sorry, had a small technical difficulty. Got the stream back up. I should have actually waited a minute because I do still need to refill my drink. So we'll swap over to the Be Right Back screen, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's get back into it. So, just like with all handlers, we inherit IMapper, skills repository, and an app logger for the handler. So, pardon me, I should look into making a class. A class template. That would be something. Something to think about off camera. Oh, I need to await this call. See, this gets me. Okay. Forget talent. Oh, we didn't have a validator there either. Cool. Whoa. Oh, hello there, friend. So I just finished those 2 queries on skills, which is a wonderful, wonderful place to be, because with we renamed the talent schema, we finished skill features. So now it's time for an exciting part. It's time for automated test implementation. So that's a fun step. So basically, the idea behind automated testing, one, it's automated, it's faster. But there's also something around it called test-driven development. So we've built all this stuff, but none of this stuff actually technically works yet. This isn't the best metaphor, but I have built a car chassis, but I don't have an engine yet, right? We don't have an API that's pinging a database, because we also don't have a database. We also don't have a front end for the user to interact with. We don't have any of the parts that actually run the application, right? We just have data structure. And I've put a lot of time already into this data structure. This is stream number 5. So we're, you know, 5 times 1.5, that's what, 7.5 hours in. We're almost a full workday into building this. And I can't test any of the stuff I've built. So that's test-driven development. We're going to write the test before we write the application, before we build our API, before we build our database, before we build the front-end graphical interface that our users interact with. Test-driven development is where you write the test first. And once your functions are working, then you build the app, because all we got to do is build the app. Everything, all the ways that we want to manipulate data, we know are working because our tests are passing. So that's next. Time for tests. So first we're going to put a character management test folder in. We're adding a new project. And this is an XUnit test project. Genesys character manager dot character management dot test. Create. So there's a fair amount of setup we have to do here. And I actually will need to pull up a reference project for that. So we don't want the test explorer up. Shift this guy over. Oh, I probably should have changed this a little bit. Should have changed this a little bit. All right, so let's remove that project, and we will go ahead and remove this folder. So we're going to do another unit test project, and this is going to be our application unit tests. Genesys character manager dot application dot unit tests. Next. And it's in here where we will put in our folders. So character management. And let's just follow the structure that we have. So we have application, character management test. Yeah, okay. So then we'll have a features and mocks folder. Add new folder, features, mocks. And then we need to add some stuff. So there's, oh, do I still have my reference sheet on? That's a problem. There we go. So there are some packages that I need to install. Really, only two. And they just make the testing process a little easier, a little more, in my opinion, user-friendly. Really, like, mock is going to help a lot, but really it's shouldly. So shouldly is a package that helps us assert our tests, right? So there's a whole syntax for when you run a test. Basically, you do a function, you do one of the things that we've built, and then you check the result, right? And you tell your test like what your result should be, right? Like in some training that I did, the idea is that you're kind of like building out a game. And in the training, it's like, okay, well, a character can deal damage to an enemy, but they cannot deal damage to an ally or to themselves, right? So the way you would write a test is, you say, hey, this character is going to deal damage. He's going to try to deal damage. We're going to give him an enemy. And because it's an enemy, once we deal that damage, that enemy's health should have decreased, right? Well, the way you write it normally is you have to put an assert, and there's some syntactical stuff going on. Shouldly means we can write it exactly the way I just said it. Enemy health should be less than his starting health. Boom. Simple. Handled. Let's take out that. And what do we got that needs updating? I think we'll be fine. So, we're going to go ahead and just delete this one that it comes with. So now, yeah, we start writing tests for all of our features. Let me first see. I think we will need, so we'll need to mock the repository. So that's actually first. So add class, and this is going to be our mock talent repository. And so, blah, 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 mock leave type repository, public static mock, and we pass in, we need to check our project references. We'll be referencing application. Also, Nani is home. She says hello. Nani, Nate says hello. we're going to create some new talents. So new list talent. Let's and so I need to grab that talent object and put it on my reference, in my reference side. And so that we can see what all a talent has. Oh, plus normal entity. Okay. So we'll jump into normal entity, which has an ID. And I'll start there. So new talent ID equals 1. Name equal, we'll call it grit. I know that's 1. And then activation equals passive. No, it's not this done this way for creating new ones. It's commas. And our description, we'll just make it description. So yeah, we're just gonna make a couple of these, and we'll just, in fact, actually, we'll just do it this way. 2, 3. Remove that comma. Yep, and parry. I don't know exactly how to set these up in accordance with the game rules, but I know that's something. So an incidental is kind of like a reaction. Cool. So we've got some talents that we're going to pretend is inside the mock repository. And then new mock repo, or var mock repo equals new mock iTalent repository, mock repo dot setup r equals r dot get all async returns async talents. Repo setup r dot get by ID async I guess it dot is any int. Oh, is any int. Yeah, there we go. Returns dot returns talent lambda I think I'm doing this wrong. Let's back it up. And returns talents first or default there's some stuff about this testing that I don't fully understand. Like, I'm still training for it. And setting up mocks is definitely a thing that is not something I'm the best at. So I may actually need to open up some reference and do some Googling. So get by ID async mock using mock. Oh, and this should be okay. Talents start first. So yep, we'll just return the first one in the list. That's fine. It's a little fucky because I would like to be able to actually able to just get one, but hey, whatever. Mock repo dot setup r dot create async it dot is any talent returns async Son of a bitch. This is difficult. Oh, so this is the one where it's talent, talent. Okay, so I guess it does have to be returns. Talents dot add talent return task dot return talent dot ID. And this will be relatively it for all of our skills as well. Skills is going to be very similar, basically the same as this. Any of our base objects that don't have anything linking to them or anything like that will receive effectively the same thing because they all are using kind of some generic methods. There's nothing custom about them. There's nothing fancy about them. So we're gonna update async. What does update async take? It takes in a talent. It dot is any talent returns var talent to update equals all right. I guess this is just a list. What does update? It returns the talent. Looks like it. Let's hop into our implementation. Talent. Oh yeah, we're in normal repository, which is base repository. Oh, it's just a task. Okay. You know what? For right now, we'll leave this guy commented. This is the update. You know what? We'll leave that there for now. That's 3 tests for us to do. I need to do more research on mocking. Okay. But we will return our mock repo. Oh. All right, so that's a get all, get by ID, async, and a create. So all of our queries and one of our commands. Cool. New folder, talent, add, new folder, queries, add, new folder, commands. We're going to start on the queries. Get all talents query handler test. So we're going to have a private read-only mock talent repository. Mock repo. We're going to call in IMapper. Oh, looks like we will need IMapper here. Oh, but we do have it. Cool. Okay. But yeah. So we'll have a mapper and a private mock app logger of get all talents query handler. Yep. I call him logger. And then mock repo will be a equal mock repository dot get mock talent repository dot get mock leave type repository. Our mapper, well, first we'll need to create a configuration. Mapper config equals new mapper configuration lambda add profile of our talent. Oh, where's our mapping profiles? Yep, it's called talent profile. And so mapper equals mapper config dot create mapper. And then mock, oh, we're just going to call him logger, equals new mock All right, so that's all initialized, and then we can get started with our testing. Fact public async task create talent test. So tests kind of have a 3-act structure of arrange, act, and assert. So first, the arrangement is we will create a handler. new create talent command handler. We're going to pass in, I always forget what order I need to do this in. So it's mapper logger repository. All right, what's the problem? Oh, that's because this is a create talent, right? Nope, this is get all. That's the problem. Get all talents query handler, which takes mapper repository logger. I don't understand. Oh, it's the dot objects. There we go. So we've got our handler. And then we var result equals handler dot handle new get all talents query. Oh, we got to send in a cancellation token. And new cancellation token. So, at this point, we assert. So result dot result, because it's a async task, should be of type int, and that type should be greater than 0. Oh no, this is get all. So never mind. We're getting all. All right, so it should be of type list talent DTO. And result dot result should be dot count should be greater than 0. So all right, let's run the first test of the app. Ooh, issue. Issue callback with return type int. Okay, so this is get all talents, get all talents query. So it looks like something's wrong with our mock. This is get all async. And our talent query handler. We return, oh, wait. Ah, I think they're supposed to be of type talent DTO. Let's close that real quick. Yeah, we return a list of type talent DTO. Well, no, because that should be happening in our handler. We should be returning talent here. Let's hop into the tests again. Get all talents in my other project. All right. Should we have type list, leave type DTO? Let's hop into our tests. List, talent DTO, yep. So mock leave type repository. We return a leave type. Return a list of leave type. And then mapper with our talent profile. Let's debug the test. Fuck it. Oh, create async returns a task.completed task. That's the problem. Cool. So let's run the test again. Boom, successful first test. Which means our handler is working. Beautiful. We're just trying to see, so these are handler tests. So we're sending data to our handler and we are testing to see if the handler does what it's supposed to and sends us back the proper thing. So we did receive a list of type talent DTO. Beautiful. But we still have a lot more testing to do. Right now, though, all we've got is get all, get by ID, and create async. So those are the three that we'll be doing. And then basically, since there's not really a time limit on today, it's just going to be, we're going to do these three tests, and then we're going to get off. And I need to do some research on how to do our updates and deletes using mock. So, cool. Next. And I think we're gonna pretty much just copy the fuck out of all this. Well, we're not gonna copy the test, but we're gonna copy all of this setup and just change the names that we need. Because writing these takes a long time. Add class, get talent, query, handler, test.cs. So first things is this is going to be, yep, that's iTalent repository. It'll be get talent query handler. This is also get talent query handler test. We just need our using there. Beautiful. Should be good for that. So now we can do our next test. Fact. Public async. What did I call that? Task, yeah. Get talent by ID test. Let's drag this one over to the reference. So just to kind of see what we're doing. We'll close the test explorer. All right, get talent by ID test. So first, we got to create our handler. Equal new get talent query handler. And what order does this all go into? It's mapper, repo, logger. Cool. Mapper, log repo, logger. Oh, and these have to be the dot object representations. Then our result is handler.handle new get talent query ID equals 1 and a new cancellation token. And now we assert. So the result should be of type talent DTO. I think that's really it. Just in case, let's do result.ID should be of type int. No. Well, what we want is, I don't know. What we'll do is we'll debug the test first, and I'll hop into this result and see what we get. Debug test. Beautiful. So we got the first. Oh yeah, because we're only returning first. We're actually not checking the ID. So yeah, should be of type talent DTO. I don't know what else to run, so we're going to run the test. And we have, as we see here, a successful run of the test. I wish there was a better way to test, like, I want a DTO of a specific ID, make sure I'm getting the correct ID. But oh well. Well, we've only got one more test to do, and we'll have, the first set of our talent tests done. So that'll be our first command, which we have set up, is our create command. Add class create talent. I think we've been calling the mock. Nope, just the handler test. Cool. Class create talent command handler test. So this is create talent command handler test. The query handler is going to be a create talent command handler. We are using the talent profile. And yeah, this is for the create talent command handler. Beautiful. And then we continue with our effect. Public async task create talent command test. Well, whatever. All right. Now we create a handler equals new create talent command handler, which receives, it should be mapper. Oh, it's going to be mapper logger repo this time. Mapper logger.object mock repo.object handler.handle. Oh, var result handler.handle. Create talent command, which receives, oh man, let's hop into that. Where's our create talent command? It receives a name, description, and activation. Name equal, let's call this swift footed. Activation equals active. Description equals Lauren Ipsum. Oh, and a new cancellation token. So result should be of type int, and result should be greater than 0. And we're going to debug. Oh, we threw a result. An error. Create talent command validator contains asynchronous rules, but was invoked asynchronously. Please call it validate async rather than validate. So we learned something about our handler. So let's go into our create talent command. So we need to, because we have asynchronous stuff, we need to validate async. So let's run that again. What the heck? Well, let's go into our validator. I don't understand. Task valid does not contain a definition for errors and no accessible extension method errors. That is interesting. So let's hop into our handler again. So we get a validation result there, but validate? This is also a validation result. But async doesn't have errors. Oh, I see the issue. Dot result dot errors dot any. There we go. Let's debug the test again. So the result. Oh, okay, so this is problematic. So we asserted that it should be greater than 0, but it was 0. Okay, okay. Let's hop into my reference project. HR leave management. This is our create async. Let's hop into the command handler test. Okay. That's super interesting. So maybe our create async is broken. Let's hop into our generic repository. Oh, it's here. Contracts, character management. Nope, we want implementation. So that's down here in persistence. Repositories, base repository, create async. I think this might be the issue. Save changes async. Let's hop into the reference project. Create async exactly the same. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Because in our mock, we have ID 123. Did our create leave management test not pass? Let's run the test. Huh. Well, it is of type int, so we'll call it here, but I will call in, oh, I will set up a to-do check int. Make sure int is greater than 0. Okay. Got a bunch of get changes here. Implemented skill features began talent tests. We'll send that up. And then let's hop into our reference screen. We're going to edit this card. 3 of 5. Yep, I think we'll just leave that there. We're going to put this guy on top because these guys are also... You know what? I don't think we need this one. So yeah, we wrote 3 of the 5 tests. I need to do some research on the tests and figure out a little bit more about how to mock those so that we can refine that create, make sure our integer is getting incremented, or we're being given an ID. We then need to do all of our skills features tests, those 5 tests. They'll be very much the same. And then after we have that, we start working on gear. Now, gear is going to be a little more complicated, and I actually need to do research on those as well, since we've transitioned to using the Star Wars system for version 1 of this app. And so armor and weapons have hard points and stuff on them. So there's going to be some stuff called armor specials. So we may have to create a weapon and armor specials class. There'll be linking objects there. So that's going to complicate things. In fact, what we might do to start is we might end up, we're going to finish the weapon, armor, gear classes. We're going to create the order of work. That's been done, because that's what this is. So we're going to create weapon, gear, armor. All right, we need to create, well, we can't do an implementation without a class. Oh. So we need to define the class, create the implementation for it. And I actually think, I don't think we'll need features for this. You know what? Yeah, no, we'll need at least a create and a get feature. Yeah, we'll need to re-implement full features for this, because we'll update features. So, career features, specialization features, weapon, armor, gear, talent tree. All right. So, skill tests, the classes, armor special class, armor special implementation. We'll put the class above those. Implementation. I think after we have the implementations, the next thing we'll do is implement weapon / armor special features. And then we will implement weapon / armor special tests. Which I will say, the testing, I'm a little iffy about the testing, because if we're doing everything the same for these base level objects with no linking objects, right? If it works the first time, it should work all of the times. But then again, that mentality is how a lot of tests fail. It's how you end up with stuff that doesn't work. So I'm half and half on how we should do that. So I think for the sake of things, we're just going to stay the course, try to optimize how we do things to make things a little more words are hard, time efficient, so we can get some stuff done faster. But I have gotten to do another hour and a half. It is Saturday, so work has been done, and I have to be happy with that. I will say I think I am probably going to allow myself on the weekends, even if on the weekends I want to do some work and I have some time to do some work. If I have time to stream, I'm going to stream. If I don't have time to stream, but I just want to knock a couple of things out, I'm just going to record. I think that's going to be how I do that. Because I really am chafing over the waiting for Friday night to do work on this, especially if it's like mostly admin work. So, but I still want a record of the work. So, oh well. Anyway, Nate, I highly appreciate you making sure I always have a viewer for my streams. Yeah, I will see you at the next one.